What motor racing are you usually watching?
Anything really. I remember back in the day watching the truck racing in England.
Yeah,
It used to be on the ABC, I think.
I think I remember seeing some of that.
The ABC used to have.
Have you ever watched truck racing, bro?
Truck racing?
It's just the front of
Yeah,
an 18-wheeler.
it's just like a semi-trailer.
They're all racing.
It's like a prime mover.
Yeah.
And they just flat stick.
Yeah.
and they body roll and everything.
Oh,
like,
geez.
and they're hooking it and
And
and these
the
are
full-
manuals too.
Yeah.
They're not the autos of today.
Yeah.
These are like they were 18-speed road rangers that they were smashing.
It's a good watch. It's a good watch. It is pretty fun. Like, you know, when they get on the gas, it's like
Like double barrel out the top. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, that was just a childhood memory of watching. Like I think I'm pretty sure it's ABC.
Welcome back to the Chimpatch podcast. My name is Joel, and sitting next to me is Braden. I feel like we're wearing the same coloured jeans today.
We are.
Yeah,
Blue.
thanks for copying me.
So
Blue
out there.
jeans, blue jeans.
Who would have what?
Who would have worn blue jeans? It's crazy. You're blue on top as well, though.
Blue
Is it blue or black?
No, it's black.
Okay, but we are on the Sublubris Lounge.
Yes, we are in a blue lounge.
Yes.
Feeling
Welcome.
very at home.
Yes.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. Yeah. Feeling good
Yeah?
so far.
Feeling so far.
So
Well,
far.
Wait till the end of this
Selling-
podcast.
It's early.
Introduce our guest, please.
Introducing our guest, the great and powerful Stu Ryan.
Great and powerful, Stu.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, guys.
It's awesome to have you on.
Thanks.
You are. Sometimes I like to just talk about people's clothes, as you may have noticed. This leather number you've put on
Yeah,
just before we've started recording.
yeah. Keeps me warm.
Yeah, but it looks like it's quite aged. Would that be correct?
Is
Or-
it a
Probably
wax?
about 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it warm?
Yeah, very warm.
Like
yeah.
a leather
Keeps the
vest?
chest warm. Yeah.
Wow.
Or is it waxed canvas? Like
Yeah,
waterproof?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's lined inside and
Yeah.
it's American Outback brand.
okay.
So yeah, just good quality. Very warm. Keeps the chest and the
Yeah, and your hands. warm.
shoulders warm. Yeah.
Well, as you were telling me, you do a fair bit of work early in the morning, so you got to
Yeah.
keep warm,
Yeah.
particularly in winter, obviously.
Yeah. Winter can be very cold.
Yeah.
So
That's very cool.
compared to summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you've told us before that you've listened to a few episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you feeling nervous or excited or just
Oh.
even keel for this podcast?
Yeah, pretty even keel, I think.
That's good. I'm glad.
I think they're put together pretty well.
I feel
Yeah.
put together. That's good.
Yeah.
That's great. Anything you can remember from the last few episodes you listened to or watched? Is there anything? Is there someone that really struck you with something they said?
Brad Ware's one.
Mm.
I listened to it probably twice now. Just his way of living through life, his journey as well. Like, I actually hadn't spoken to Brad. I knew of Brad, and I'd known Brad through other, not through Solis, but through other connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I delivered materials to him
Okay.
on a building sites many times.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd watched it anyway. I actually just cold called him.
Yeah.
Probably that afternoon, literally probably half an hour after listening to it. Just wanted to say, yeah, I was really touched by it, and
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
that's really
and it was a lot in his that reflected in my life as well.
Yeah.
Quite
See.
similar
Yeah.
things that he'd been through, and
Yeah.
just the struggles and stuff. Yeah. So I just, and then so from there, me and him, like, we talk on a regular basis.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's really cool.
You know, we share our love of carpentry. I'm not a carpenter, but I build things. My dad was a cabinet maker,
Okay.
so I grew up building furniture in the garage. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love to build and tinker, and so yeah, Brad and I just we started a bit of a friendship, and
That's
yeah,
so cool.
Yeah, and so catched up with him on one of the men's dinners on a Monday night,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
he's been over for dinner, and yeah,
That's it. Because that's like,
it's just been really good.
yeah, that's the reason that's one of the main reasons we do the podcast is that you got connected with him. You hadn't met him face to face, but you just called him and said, and now you've built a friendship.
I had met him face to face on the job sites, and
Oh,
we'd
yes.
said hello to
Yeah,
each
yeah.
other, but
Yeah.
like we hadn't like put two and two together.
Mm.
But that was well before, this connection of MCC and Solies
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But just having that connection there. So straight away we just started talking about stuff. And
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so
yeah,
cool.
it's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, really cool. Let's ask the first question that you always like
Yeah,
to ask, though. And what I'm excited about is to hear you briefly told me you've got a bit of background as chef,
Yeah, just a touch.
just a little bit. But how do you like to have your hot chips, Stu?
Yeah, I love. So do we define hot chips as chips or roasted potatoes?
Oh.
I don't know. What call do we make on that?
I'm happy to.
I'm
have,
happy to do both.
Yeah, I'm happy to have both answers. Like if
So,
we want to split hairs.
Yeah, well, I love a roast potato.
Yeah.
In olive oil, butter,
Yes.
salt, pepper,
Yeah.
Oh yes.
garlic, and a bit of sage.
Yeah.
Ooh, sage, not
and-
rosemary.
No, sage with potatoes. I find rosemary with lamb.
Yeah.
Okay.
But sage cut up so it bruises a bit.
Mhm.
But I just love it. Yeah, I've got a wood oven at home, and I love the finish of the crust on the potato and the softness in the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get that nice little crust, so you toss them around in there.
Yep.
My daughter loves them, so it's a winner.
Yeah.
And so that's probably the traditional way.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then I don't mind I would say like a hot chip, nice and crisp, grilled cheese, bacon, Spanish onion
Ooh.
under the griller,
Yeah.
and then maybe finish with a bit of sour cream and sweet chili sauce.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Now you're eating.
it's like a meal in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I think you used to be able to get it at like Sizzler or Black Stump in the day.
Yeah.
You used to be able to get cheesy toasts at Sizzler, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at Black Stump you could get because you can do potatoes, and they do the potatoes in their jackets with the cheese and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you could get hot chips with top
Yeah, like a loaded.
like a
thing.
loaded fries.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you used
Yeah,
to
you can
call
do
it.
that at,
Maybe at Arizona's, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arizona's used to do the loaded fries.
Loaded fries. Yeah, well, that's
And-
where it would be from.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it had the bacon and cheese on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sour cream, sweet chili
Yeah.
sauce.
Up at Miranda Fair, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've had that before.
Yeah.
Is that the place where they shut it down? No, this is Lone Star. Remember there was that, or maybe it was Lone Star. I could be wrong. Anyway,
Yeah.
they I think they got shut down because they had this thing where you could crack the peanuts and chuck the
Oh, it was
shells on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it became a health risk, like because it got stuck in
I
all
think,
the
yeah.
floorboards or something.
I think it was next door to where the original Sizzler was,
Yes,
where
it was.
JB Hi-Fi is now.
Correct.
And then across the road was Arizona's.
Yeah.
And then you go down to the movies.
Yep. Because the movies were down
The movies
the
were
bottom.
down the stairs.
I
The
remember.
original.
I remember where the movies were, but
Yeah.
the rest of this is beyond me.
Yeah.
The rest is history. That's right. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
Well, the Lone Star used to do amazing chicken tenders.
Ooh.
That's the one I used to smash. Get the loaded fries and the chicken
chicken
tenders.
tenders,
Yeah, and Lone
garlic
Star.
bread.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And you gave me a lot of childhood memories of Black Stump. I used to go to Carring Bar Black Stump
Yeah.
for family dinners.
We used to go to Heathcote.
Yes, because there was one.
There
there,
was one on
wasn't
the highway at Heathcote.
there? Mm.
And then I think there was one at Sylvania
Ooh.
on the highway because my brother, when we were about young, he won a competition there,
Yeah.
a BMX bike.
Ooh.
And he went and picked it up and he was in the leader.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And he was probably year 6, so 11 or 12, so I was
Yeah.
probably 9.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
Picked
that's-
it up in the back of the Irvan.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, that would have been the one. There was one at Sylvania.
I think the last one, if I remember, was at Rockdale.
Yep.
And we went there as a family. I was like, whoa, this was not a good experience.
Yeah, it just came out loaded.
But not very good food
needing
either,
a
right?
detox.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, can you answer this question though about chips?
Yep.
Chicken salt or plain salt?
With roast potatoes, plain salt,
Yep.
Yeah.
chicken salt on chips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bit
As it
of
should
a
be.
fan.
Yeah.
Because have you you've listened to a few
Oh,
episodes,
yeah,
the
there's-
argument about I don't
there's,
think chicken salt is anywhere
yeah.
near as good as plain salt.
Well, I love rock salt, so
Yeah.
out of a crack it yourself type of thing.
Yep.
Mm.
But yeah, chicken salt on chips
Yeah.
and plenty of it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
always
okay.
always ask for
Extra.
yeah,
Yeah.
put the chicken salt on and then put it on again. yeah, and then toss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then barbecue sauce maybe with a plain chip. But
Yeah.
Ah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I like
I don't
the-
do tomato.
You don't do tomato. I
Tomato's
do.
just not there.
I
It's just
do.
all sugar. I don't know.
There is a lot of
It's just
sugar
a
in
weird
tomato sauce. Yeah.
sweetness to tomato sauce.
I've
Yeah.
found better tomato sauces though. I used to like. I'm a big
Oh, yeah.
Heinz ketchup guy.
3 threes make a good tomato sauce.
Ooh, I
So
don't
my
know.
daughter is a tomato sauce connoisseur, I would say, non-barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 threes are good,
Mm-hmm.
or just Coles.
Yeah.
But the 3 threes, if you're going for something a bit more stepped up,
A little bit thicker
Yeah.
and
yeah, a little bit more body.
Yep.
Yeah, robust flavors.
Yeah.
robust flavors. Love it. The second question we like to ask though
Yep.
is, Stu, can you tell us how you became a Christian?
Yep. Well, it's not really one time.
Yeah.
It would be over a period of time. Probably, I always had a faith. I had a whole big group of mates apart from church mates, and I used to socialise a lot. And I always had this kind of question in the back of my head: there's like got to be something more,
Yeah.
you know, to like when you go out at night and you just hang out and stuff like that. Oh, well, you know what's, and we had a minister here, Andrew Harris, who was started here as a youth pastor, and probably within a year or two of him starting here, I'd started under him as a youth leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
Already was a Christian, but I believed that I really found my faith under him,
Yeah.
under his leadership.
Yeah.
Beck and I were dating, and pretty much on the cusp, I suppose, of getting engaged. Yeah, and then really, like, around the time that we got married, I really kind of accepted, you know, true walk and faith, and it's never easy, you know,
Yeah.
it's hard and stuff, but yeah, like Andrew Harris really played a big part
Yeah.
in me finding my faith, but it wasn't like like some guys have a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Me, it was kind of like a progression.
Yeah. A dimmer, slowly turning.
Yeah, just like something turning on, like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like a, you know, 8-hour brisket or something.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the start,
Slow
at the
roasted.
start, it's really tough, you know.
Yeah.
At the end of
yeah.
it,
Nice and soft
nice and soft, and
Yeah.
and tasty.
yeah. So I really, I still talk to Andrew quite often, like probably twice a week. We'll text each other, just
Yeah.
shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
And we will talk on the phone at least once a month for a good period of just chatting.
That's
He's
cool.
a great mentor.
Yeah.
He's been awesome for me.
That's
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah, it's just great. So, yeah, he left Miranda quite a while ago, and
Yeah.
he's now in Melbourne. But yeah, it's not that
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
It's always so cool when you often have that one person in your life that you're like has really helped you with your faith.
For sure.
So for me, it's Jai, for
Yeah,
example, so he was my youth leader.
yeah. Mr.
Um,
McMorty.
Yes, Mr. McMorty. But because we originally just bonded over being Liverpool supporters.
Yeah.
That was the thing that we kind of started, and we just, from there, he was always there for me. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
just
Awesome.
always hanging out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we talked about, prior to the podcast, about commitment, Stu.
Mm.
Like, I learned that from Jai and the other leaders that I had. I'm still mates with
Yep.
another one of them, Chris, and that was because they would turn up and just want to hang out with me every single Friday night when I
Yeah.
was going to
Yeah.
youth. So
Yeah, Chris
it's
Stevens.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Stevens, that's right. And it's
Yeah.
the same with Andrew for you. It sounds like it's a similar thing,
Yeah.
that he was like, I'm committed to be
Yeah.
here for you when times are going well, times are
Yeah.
going tough, and just to lead you as well, faithfully try and lead you as well as I can. Like it
was
makes such a
awesome.
difference.
Like
doesn't
we
it?
had him, like he was the youth pastor, and so we were leaders under him. And then we did Bible study. I think it was on a Tuesday night with him and Narelle, his wife.
Yeah.
A small group of us.
Yeah.
And then even on weekends, Saturday nights, like we go around to their place for dinner.
Yeah.
You know, as a group, big group, have dinner together, or we go out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know, we played soccer in the soccer team together for a while. Yeah, and then you see him on Sunday. So it was like it was an all week thing, which was really good, and it was stabilising
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
for me.
because that's even similar. I grew up. We started going to a Bible study. Once it
Yeah.
kind of like came towards the end of school, Bible study. We're going to Soli's on a Saturday night,
Yeah,
church on a Sunday night,
Yeah.
and then if you're leading youth, we were hanging out on a Wednesday night too.
yeah,
So it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
What you're saying is that you spend more time with Christians, it's easier to be a Christian. I feel like, or you're
Yeah.
more likely to
you're
live it out.
influenced
Yeah.
in a better way.
Yeah.
But you're also
Oh.
just doing life together.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, it's not just it's not like rocking up and going to the movies on a Sunday basically and sitting next to a few people and going home. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
was
mean?
like it's like last Sunday. It was the last Sunday, the Sunday before. We were just
We're
talking about the Dragons,
Yeah,
just
talking about
about
the
to get
Dragons.
smashed by Panthers.
Yeah, which was fine. Then we
That was a great game.
smashed the Storm the next
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
so we're back in it.
Yeah, but like we sat
Yeah,
there
yeah.
and we couldn't remember
The
so
Hook's name, Anthony Griffin.
Anthony Griffin's
Yeah.
name, right? We were going through all the coaches.
Yeah,
So I sent him a
Yeah.
message about an hour and a half later. Anthony Griffin, donuts are on me.
yeah,
And he goes, So
Yeah.
it had come to me like,
yeah.
but yeah. So my Panthers, like I'm a Panthers supporter.
Oh well,
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
hang out with Chris then.
Yeah, so I know of Chris.
Yeah.
My wife actually worked with his wife
Oh yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm probably not as full on as him.
I don't think there's many people in an
I would
NRL
say
club.
I'm one-eyed.
They're as full
He's
on.
fanatical.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Well,
given he
I
goes
don't
to
I don't watch reruns like him,
Yeah, yeah,
but I love my Panthers.
yeah,
Well, he
Since
goes to almost
probably
every home
90,
game.
91.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of jerseys and
Oh,
I've had a really good couple of years.
he
Yeah.
has more than a
Yes,
couple of
he
jerseys.
has a lot more
I don't
than
know if you've
me. He
seen-
probably has the same amount of jerseys as I have chainsaws.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, some people collect jerseys, some people collect stamps.
Yeah.
I collect chainsaws.
What's
Yes.
behind the collecting chainsaws? Like, what do you love
Yeah.
about them?
I've always been enthralled with outdoor work,
Okay.
Yeah.
physical outdoor work.
Yeah.
My grandfather had a couple of companies. Like he was used to do house demolition, and he would take the windows out and the doors out of the house, but he wouldn't take them to the tip.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to grow up on a big property at Miranda. It was a poultry farm,
Oh yeah.
and he had a big block with chooks and a big shed where he kept his Bedford truck and all these other sheds with
Yeah.
door handles and if anyone needed anything, they'd ring up my grandfather and say, "I need a door,"
Yeah.
and you know
Let me go
they
to the
turn
door
up
shed.
and he goes, "Oh, what sort of door do you need?" He goes,
Yeah.
"Oh," and he'd have a stack of 40 doors
Yeah.
that he'd kept that he couldn't get rid of.
Yeah.
But he had this Bedford truck, and he would go and tree lop
Oh yeah.
with a guy called Jimmy Mack. And they used to just, he had chainsaws. And I remember as a
Yeah.
kid, under my grandparents' house, there was an old set of stairs that hadn't been demolished, and there was these 4 old chainsaws.
Yeah.
They were pull-ons, and they were bright orange, bright green, and blue.
Yeah.
And I used to love going in there and just looking at them.
Yeah.
And they were old. Anyway, I think they went to the tip. I'm not sure. They were old. They were just sitting under there. Anyway, I just had a fascination with them from a young
Yeah.
age, and I did a bit of tree work myself when I had my lawn mowing business, and
Yeah.
started from there and just joined the chainsaw collecting community.
Yeah.
Is that a big community?
There is a big community out there.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, so I just have collected them over the years. I've probably got about 50, 55 chainsaws. About 8 in my lounge room
Yeah.
Where are the
Oh,
rest?
shit.
as a feature.
Where are the rest?
Under the house, in the garage, under
Yeah.
my dad's house, in boxes. I've got parts.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you like to keep them in working order? Is that part of it?
Some of them
or-
are.
Yeah. or it's-
some of them are non-runners,
yeah.
so to speak. But you can't get parts anymore for like
Ah,
chainsaws. Like I've got
Yeah.
chainsaws from the 1960s,
Yeah.
so pre-chain break. You can't get parts for them anymore. So
Yeah, yeah.
the way to fix them is to buy another chainsaw.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's an excuse.
Like a lot
Yeah.
of things now, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't make, and they're all made in Germany or West. I've got chainsaws made in West Germany
Oh, wow.
before the fall of the Berlin Wall. It's
Yeah.
stamped on there.
Yeah.
But the chainsaws that are in the house
Yeah.
are very old,
Yeah.
all run.
Yeah.
I could use them if I wanted to.
Do you have like one that's like the like pinnacle
Doyon,
of your
the
collection?
Doyon.
What's the one in the middle
Yeah,
with the lights around it?
it's not in the middle. It's up on the top shelf, so no one
yeah.
can touch it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's an 015L.
Yeah.
It was my grandfather's saw.
Yeah.
He bought it brand new, and Dad had it under the house, and when I was probably after I bought my place, I said to Dad, "Can I fix it up?"
Yeah.
And I restored it,
Yeah.
and had to buy a chain for it because I had to have a chain made for it. Sorry,
Oh wow.
because of the tooth. Anyway, yeah, it sits there in the lounge room,
Yeah.
knowing that it's a one owner saw in pretty
Yeah.
good nick,
Yeah.
and it was owned by my grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's
and because he passed away when I was young, so
yeah.
so it's a bit of a connection for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's cool when you can have those like family.
yeah, something to touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome for me.
I've got one of my guitars I bought with the money that my grandfather gave me when he passed away. And
A
that's-
guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's a
awesome.
very special one to me.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
awesome.
What's that guitar?
It's my Strat. It's a white one. It's actually sitting in the house at MCC at the moment.
Awesome, mate.
'cause it's
Yeah,
just the one I keep around.
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah,
You mentioned your grandfather,
yeah,
but you also told me that your kids are a fifth generation here at MCC.
yeah.
Is that
They are
right?
now. Yeah.
So tell us
Yeah.
about that. Like, so
Yeah.
how long? How far back does that go? Is that even from the start of the church?
No, not the start. They moved over from Riverston in 1912.
Or? Wow.
From to the block here at Miranda was a 5 acre block.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, my auntie would be able to fill you in full on and they didn't come to Miranda first. They came after, when my grandfather was a baby. So probably in the early 20s, 1920s, I think. I'm not too sure. So he would have been young.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he grew up through the church. Then my mum and my auntie, or my nan, came after they were married. And then my mum and my auntie, and then myself, my brother, and my sister and my cousins.
Yeah.
And then all the kids came. So, yeah. So,
That's cool.
yeah. Yeah. So Eli's 15, my son, and my daughter's 11, Maddie.
Yeah.
So they're here, Kidscape and Youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And Sundays, church. Yeah.
I often ask this question later, but I thought you've mentioned Maddie and Eli.
Yeah.
What do you think God's taught you about being a parent?
Patience.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah, because
But you're right.
Yeah, I'm an excitable person.
Yeah.
I have a very great wife who, she's beautiful. She just calms the
Yeah.
situation. Eli's a 15-year-old boy who is full of energy,
Yeah.
full of enthusiasm. And Maddie's 11. She's completely opposite. She's just very likes the indoors and everything, like her space. And I'm getting her into the garden and stuff. But Eli, yeah, me and Eli get along really well. So, but we're so the same.
Yeah.
That you get on each other's nerves a bit.
Yeah, like like yeah,
Yeah.
frustration maybe.
Yeah. Exactly.
But Beck and I parent in the style of if one person's parenting, the other person really doesn't get involved
Yeah.
unless it's required.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it's always worked for us.
Mm.
Yeah. Patience and yeah, my dad was just awesome like that as well. Like he was just so calm and collected.
Yeah.
My mum was good too, I should say.
Yeah.
But my dad, yeah, I'm very close to my dad, so
Mm.
yeah.
That's cool.
Patience and trust. Trust, yeah, just trust my wife and everything that we need to make decisions on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you grew up in a Christian house? Like,
Yeah, I did. I was very
in
lucky.
church,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Come here on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday nights, we come here for potluck meal. If
Oh,
one
yeah.
was
Okay.
on Saturday
Yeah.
nights.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Or, the church family barbecue or
Yeah.
we just, very social growing up through the church. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Played soccer in my teens, late teens, early 20s
Yeah.
in the Congos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I originally thought it was like the Congo in Africa, but
No, we just dropped
yeah,
congregational.
congregational.
It was easier for the team song.
Than flying over to Africa every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned though there's the poultry farm in Miranda. Where was that?
Just on Bellangara Road. They had one,
Oh,
Bellangara
yeah.
Road and the corner of Bellangara and the Boulevard.
I was there.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Hmm.
So grandfather had that, and it was a market garden as well that he ran with his father.
Nice. So like all just produce.
Produce,
Stuff.
yeah, potatoes.
Whew, wish it was still there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, so do I. I'd be love to be on there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to start that up.
Be
again.
awesome. Yeah.
Start that up.
I think it
Yeah.
might be a bit more expensive.
No, I had
Farm
about
memorandum.
3 or 4 years
Yes.
when I was
Yeah.
a kid there
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
till my grandfather died, and then
Yeah.
Mm.
it was good. Yeah, but it was downsized through the 70s. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, obviously with population growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us though, had like in terms of growing up, like some of the memories you have growing up. So what like school did you go to?
Yep.
You said you still always had a faith. I
Yep.
like it when you said that you knew there was something more.
Yeah.
Because that's actually quite similar to me.
Yeah.
It's like I knew there was something more, but I
Yeah,
didn't know
something
what
was
it was.
going on, but
Yeah.
what was it?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
it's almost like that's when God first starts whispering to you.
yeah, little voices.
Yeah, but you didn't know what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us what it was like growing up, like primary school, high school.
Yeah,
Any fun memories or even things that you knew that God was doing in your life?
yeah. I went to Miranda Public School
Mm-hmm.
with my brothers and sisters and my cousins, obviously. My mum was a teacher there,
Okay.
so I got a free ride every morning and a lift home.
Yeah, okay.
And then over the road to Port Hacking
Okay.
until 1998 I finished.
Yeah.
End of year 10. And yes, I did 4 years there. Home economics because I went into chefing. I enjoyed cooking.
Mm.
So I thought I'd have a crack at being a chef. I enjoyed school, like it was good, except for the actual learning side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the social side of it.
Yeah.
I had,
Favourite-
I had really
favourite-
good mates.
Subject was lunch.
Yeah, or anything hands on. So
Yeah.
PE, I did really well in PE.
Yeah.
I loved PE.
Like woodwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not so much then. Yeah, like we did woodwork, metalwork, plastics. Yeah, back then, but then the other time you did home economics and
Yeah.
sewing,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed home economics.
Yeah.
So I took that as an elective in year 9 and 10,
Mm-hmm.
and I did okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
I remember telling my grandparents that I like doing food tech. Is
yeah,
what it's called at our school. And they're like, what?
mm.
Because apparently there's only women that like
Yeah.
doing food tech according to them.
Yep,
So they were like, really? Like, yeah, I don't like. 'Cause I don't
Yeah.
mind cooking. I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as skilled as you are,
mm.
but yeah, I don't mind a bit of cooking. Every
Well,
so
when
often.
I went through in year 9 and 10, when you were elected to do it, there was only me and another guy that elected to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I ended up doing quite well in the home economics part of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
In the theory and the practical side,
yeah,
Yeah.
the theory I struggled in, which but the other guy, we both became chefs actually.
Oh yeah.
He runs a bar now in Bondi.
Okay.
He lived overseas for a few years. I'm still kind of in contact with him. Adrian Mason's his name, but yeah, he runs a quite a good bar in Bondi. But he's lived out all around the world.
Yeah.
Hasn't settled like me with a family. He's still, but he's done really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's awesome.
I think the only reason I did food tech was for the social side. So,
Yeah.
you know, Michael Greaves
yeah.
he used to get quite a whipping of towels, tea towels. Yeah, from me
Did
and
you
my
tie a
friend
knot in
Joe.
the end?
No,
Yeah,
we didn't do
the
that.
stinger.
Yeah. We used to do that, like you flip it around.
Yeah. Oh, you took.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
you bring it in.
didn't- Yeah, but he used to get really angry at us because it was often before lunch, and we
Oh,
went
yeah.
we went to be washing up, and he's there washing up in the sink, and we're just whipping him while he's facing the other way, like the
Yeah.
facing the sink.
We used to tie knots in the towels, and
It's
yeah,
interesting, yeah.
the stinger we used to call it because it had
Give him
welt
the
up
stinger.
the skin.
Yeah, food tech was fun because I used to. We once made like they used to have those electric frying pans.
Yep.
And Michael was paired up with a guy called David, and they just like we were meant to be making pikelets.
Yep.
He just tipped the whole batter in there.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, went to flip it and went whoop, and just
Yeah,
flipped over on
folded.
itself.
Yeah.
So it was like burnt on the outside, undercooked on the
Yeah.
inside.
Or crepes. I used to like making crepes and being able to flick them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I I could still flick
Like
pancakes.
up,
Up and out, and back in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
That's
it's all in
impressive.
the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Braden, it's all in the wrist.
Yeah.
but
Been telling
I
that
can
for
do
years.
that, and yeah, food tech was great.
Yeah, it was
Like,
fun.
Yeah, science was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything with practical.
Yeah.
What in terms of like being like a Christian or
Yeah,
Christian adjacent at school, especially at high school? How did that go? Did you?
very quiet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't say much. I think I would have gone to. We had I think it was called. No, it wasn't. SRC is the Student Representative Council. We would have had like a Christian group on a
What's
Wednesday
it called?
at Port Hacking.
We're looking at Hudson, who's producing for us because he went to Port Hacking.
Yeah, it was run by
It's
St
not
Luke's.
ICT, is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
run by St Luke's.
ICF.
Yeah.
And a guy called Matt Yo used to do it
Okay.
Yeah.
from memory. I probably went about 4 times and then realised I'd rather be in the playground playing handball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, just quiet in school about it all. Used to go to youth every week.
Yeah.
That was like awesome. Like we just go ice skating or
Ice skating.
it
Wow.
was youth was on a Saturday night and Bible
Yeah.
study was on the Friday night.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, so we used to do the Bible study at the mate's place
Yeah.
at Tolol Avenue, Mance actually, and then Saturday nights was youth group.
Yeah.
So the social.
Yeah.
So we'd go like putt,
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Roller skating, ice skating, go out to Homebush Aquatic Centre before the Olympics.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
We did that for youth.
Yeah,
Yeah. When we were at Gymea.
yeah, the Rapids.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was fun, eh?
yeah. We went out to Whitewater, Penrith Whitewater.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, got nearly drowned.
Yeah.
Got stuck under a raft.
Oh, yeah.
The fear of drowning, it's not good.
Yeah.
No.
Did stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, heaps of activities. And then Sunday was, Sunday morning was Sunday, we had Sunday school in the morning, I suppose.
Yeah.
Youth Sunday school, and then come up to church afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it was separate. Yeah. But in high school, just laid low.
Like people wouldn't know if you're a Christian.
I wouldn't openly talk about it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
But anything in your decisions that you were like, not going to do that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay. So you still stand out to a degree.
To a point,
Yeah.
yeah. Probably made some dumb decisions.
Don't we all?
But yeah, had a really good mate, Luke Baglin, Baggers, who went to St Luke's.
Yeah.
Or I think he might be moved on from St Luke's, but he ended up on staff at St Luke's. We used to muck around together.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Baggers.
Yeah, Baggers, yeah.
Baggers.
Luke Baglin.
Hmm.
Yeah, and yeah.
You finished up in year 10.
Yeah.
Is that because you didn't really want to do much
Yeah, it didn't
theory
really
learning?
School and I didn't really work.
Yeah.
The learning portion, anyway.
Yeah, I just really, didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
I probably could have, but yeah, bit of a struggle
Mhm.
through, which I've come to find out later. Obviously, only this year I've been diagnosed with ADHD.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, my mum actually had me tested, and they said, "Oh no, he hasn't got it. He's just full of energy."
Yeah.
Okay.
School. End of year 10, I just said to my mum, probably year 9, beginning of year 10, I said, look, my dad had actually finished at the end of year 9 back
Yeah.
in the 60s,
Mm.
year 10 equivalent. I said to mum, I probably want to just go and get a trade.
And I think that suits a number of people.
Yeah,
Really well. Both my
Even
brother,
now.
my brother-in-law,
Yeah.
both my parents all left in year 10
Yeah, right.
because
Yeah.
they knew it wasn't their bag.
No, it just wasn't working for me. And if it didn't interest me, I'd switched off.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
So if I wasn't wholly in
Yeah.
on something, I just wasn't in.
Yeah.
So I would just socialise
Mm.
and get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Not in trouble, but just move to the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, by leaving at the end of year 10, I just, remember having a chat with my mum. She was a school teacher.
Yeah.
And I just said, she goes, yep, well, sweet, fine. And
Yeah.
so I did through year 10, I did a lot of work placement.
Yeah.
Or they careers advisor, Mr. Freeney there.
Yeah.
I don't know if is he still there? No, gone,
No.
retired. I went to lots of places just to kind of get a grasp of a commercial kitchen.
Oh, cool. So you knew
Okay.
you definitely wanted to go into
Yeah, I wanted to do that or greenkeeping,
Yeah.
but there was no greenkeeping opportunities like in the Shire.
Yeah.
Everything was in the eastern suburbs.
Yeah.
And my mum and dad worked, and it wasn't going to be possible for me to get to work in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I love cooking, and it
Yeah.
was really my first choice.
Yeah.
And so I did, placements, Woolware Golf Club, a couple of restaurants, Ridges at Cronulla. I
Yeah.
did 2 weeks down there, and I ended up getting a job as a dish hand down there
Oh yeah.
on weekends through the
Yeah.
end of rest of year 10 and some week afternoons. Like
Yeah.
we'd basically decided that I wasn't going to go through, so I'd started working as much as I could.
Yeah.
I'd work Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sundays.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you
down
find
there.
that hard with church then? Like, or was it?
So I'd work Sunday mornings and go to church Sunday afternoons.
Yeah.
But
okay, cool.
I used to get tired,
Yeah.
and I was known to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could kip out
Yeah.
in a sermon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh,
I ended up working down there, and I almost got an apprenticeship at Ridges.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was an apprenticeship going, but there was a girl there that was working as well as
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
and she just finished year 12, and she'd been there a bit longer.
Yeah. So she was ahead of you.
And so she was offered the position, so
Yeah.
which was sweet. They gave me a really good reference, and I stayed
Yeah.
there until I got
Sick.
my first gig
Yeah. Where was that? At?
at the Mangrove Restaurant at Sutherland, and it's no longer there. It was in the old courthouse
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
opposite Sutherland Public School.
Yep.
They're building a big high rise now, but I started there in January '99.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a fifth. I would have been 15 or 16,
Yeah. Yeah.
16 maybe.
Yeah. So it's like a restaurant kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little restaurant, probably 80 seats,
Oh,
open
sick.
kitchen,
Yeah.
and I had I started there,
Yep.
and I still talk to my first boss.
Yeah.
I still talk to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
She lives down the coast now,
Yeah.
and my first head chef.
Yeah.
I'm still in contact with. I actually caught up with dinner
Yeah.
with him a few times, and we talk regularly.
It's such a big thing to have a good boss when you're
Yeah.
younger, isn't it?
Yeah, she was great. She was actually, her birthday was the same day as mine
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So we used to share our birthday.
Yeah.
And I worked for Maureen for on and off for about 4 years.
Yeah.
Because she would, if she sold one of the restaurants, sometimes she'd stay at the restaurant,
Yeah.
and then they'd work out if they wanted to keep you or not, and then she'd always just take me.
Yeah.
And so I worked for Maureen for quite a while,
Yeah.
and she was awesome to work for. And we were busy, busy restaurant.
Mm.
It was awesome. We had great times.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
She was just I describe her as firm but fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
When you were busy and were working,
yeah.
you know, but she was like a really good. She was good with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and she could draw really good things out of you.
Yeah.
Even though she
absolutely.
wasn't a chef,
Yeah.
she'd worked in restaurants. Her husband or former husband was a chef as well.
Yeah.
So she'd been in restaurants. She just knew how to tap in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Tap
such
in,
a
yeah.
big thing having a good boss when,
Yeah.
especially the first couple of like proper jobs you have.
Yeah, and Kelly was the chef. He was a great chef. And I worked for him as well for quite a few years, on and off in a couple of restaurants. And even around the time we got married, I was moonlighting for him on a Saturday night
Yeah.
as a third job.
Yeah.
Just 4-hour shifts in the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Just garlic bread, whatever he needed.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a gopher for him. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's I'm still in contact with both of them. Yeah, it was awesome. So out of there and qualified in end of 2001. So I was qualified in 2.5 years
Wow.
because of the hours we worked. So
Ah.
I didn't do a 4-year apprenticeship. It was a 4-year apprenticeship, and I packed it in 2.5 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cause
So were
they
you
allow-
working 6 days a week or?
No, five, sometimes
okay.
6. But
Yeah.
you wouldn't do an 8-hour shift. You could
Okay.
do up to 10 to 12 hours, but
Yeah.
you'd sometimes you'd have an hour or two break in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd really earn your hours. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. How did you find that shift after like going from school where it was like some of this stuff's great, some of this stuff
I'd
give
sleep
or
a lot.
take? Yeah.
Yeah. My day off would be just spending in bed,
Yeah.
which was normally the restaurant was open Tuesday to Sunday 3:00, so we'd have
Okay.
Sunday nights off, so I'd be
Yeah.
able to go to church on Sunday night,
Yeah.
and Mondays were closed. So Mondays were literally just sleep,
Yeah.
and Tuesdays was TAFE.
Oh, okay.
So I'd do Wednesday to Saturday,
Yeah.
but in those 4 days,
Yeah.
you would do monster hours,
Yeah.
and you'd either do lunch or dinner.
Yeah.
So every second week, I'd be able to go to Bible study in youth
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
if I wasn't knackered. But
Yeah.
if you did the nights, you didn't work Sunday.
Ah, okay.
You had a whole 2 days off that week,
Okay.
and the other week you'd have a day and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of alternate.
So I'd still, the body took a while to acclimatise, especially
Yeah.
it's so young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. No extra activities really.
Yeah.
Yeah, just TAFE, you work,
Mm.
get to church.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, still come to church for a social outlet,
yeah.
I suppose. At
Yeah.
that time, I suppose, for me, it was a social outlet,
Yeah.
more so.
Yeah.
Then finding
Mm.
my faith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Great friends that are still lifelong friends that are here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, we go to Macca's afterwards.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tarrant
Macca's
Point.
debrief.
Yeah. Macca's debrief every week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh, that's sick.
it was a hard apprenticeship, but worth it.
Yeah.
What do you think you took out of that? Like having to work those long hours and
Work
do the
ethic.
apprenticeships? Yeah.
Definitely work ethic. My wife sometimes described me as a workaholic. I'm quite often at home, still working at home, but I find it relaxing.
Yeah.
It's I love to work,
Mm.
I love physical work. So I'd love to get in the garden
Mm.
and weed and oil the deck, work in
Yeah.
the garage, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Always doing something, tinkering with something.
Mm.
I find that I can't just come home and sit down. So
Yeah.
I love to be able to. I have a beautiful garage that we built on the house, which is quite large. It's a bit of a workshop.
Yeah.
So a big workshop. So Eli now. So I've had Eli in the garage his whole life.
Yeah.
He just loves it. He got his motor. He can work on his motorbike. He's got a bench.
Yeah.
We build little bits of furniture together.
Ah,
Mhm.
sick.
It's just but work ethic. Like
Yeah.
when I had a the lawn mowing business for quite a while, and I would work big hours
Yeah.
and not get over it.
Yeah.
But for a goal,
Yeah.
I like just to provide and
Mm.
save for a holiday and
Yeah.
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 But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely work ethic
Yeah.
and organisation.
Yeah.
Like being efficient kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
efficient with my time,
Yeah.
especially in the kitchen. Like you're quite often doing three things.
Mm. Which are what?
You'll probably have your ducks in the oven roasting.
Yep.
You'll have you might have a pot of soup on the go
Mm.
that you got to keep an eye on, or a jus or sauce,
Yeah.
and then you might be prepping, onions or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But the storeroom in the restaurant wasn't part of the restaurant. You'd have to go up to this storeroom, so you'd never want to go for one thing.
Yeah.
Or you never want to go empty-handed. So you'd always look to take something back,
Yeah.
so you weren't wasting a trip.
Yeah. It's such a difference, isn't it, between people? Like, there's lots of people who are good cooks who can cook be thinking about one meal that they want to make and make a really good meal for
Yeah,
friends or whatever who are coming over. But
Yeah.
like consistency of having to cook a lot of things at the same time, be aware of what's happening,
yeah,
do things consistently, and also like
yeah,
manage working and doing that as part of a
Managing
team.
a
It's such a
kitchen, a
different
team,
experience, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's the thing I find appealing about being a chef.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though I'm not one. That's the thing I love. That what's that? There's a name of the French system. I forget what it's called. That they.
Mise en place.
That's
Yeah.
isn't that the prep?
That's
that's the
everything
prep
in
list.
its right place.
Yeah. But there's something about like there's the head chef and then there's the
Oh,
sous chef and so
yeah.
there's the organization system is called something anyway. Anyway, whatever it is, I
Not
just
sure
like
myself actually.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah. There's a name, but I can't remember it. But I like that organizational
Yeah.
system and like you know, there's one guy on sauces in that system. And
Yeah,
there's a
saucier.
yeah, and then there's a dessert guy and all that
Prep,
stuff. Yeah.
prep chef, yeah,
Yeah.
like great channel on YouTube, Eater,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
and like behind the scenes of some fantastic restaurants.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's like a day in the life. They'll do a day in the life of
Yeah.
like a restaurant in New Orleans that's been open for 130 years.
Yeah.
And they go all the way through, like from the head chef to the prep chefs. Guys that just come in and prep.
Yeah.
Sauciers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lady comes in and just all she does all day is potatoes.
Yeah.
That's her job.
Wow.
And it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's
As
very
part of a team.
It's,
you know,
yeah,
like,
you're a team. You know, for you to get what you need done helps
Yeah.
the next person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Braden, I asked Stu if he'd watched The Bear.
Oh, yeah.
But he
Yeah.
hasn't. Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
I don't
I've
know.
gotta
It's
I've gotta
good, but it's just like you need to be prepped for some yelling. For
Oh,
like an
it's-
hour and
Oh,
a half.
yeah.
It's like
Oh.
it's stressful to watch.
Yeah,
it
watching
reminds
The
me of
Bear
when I
is
watched
stressful.
Breaking Bad. I was just like, you'd get done with an episode, you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like
Debrief
it's not
your
like
brain.
calming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're also like,
most kitchens I worked in were open kitchens.
Yeah.
okay.
There was only a few that were closed.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so in an
like
open kitchen to
which-
the
Yeah.
restaurant,
Yes,
Yeah,
to where the
you
people are.
can't.
Yeah.
it very rarely would you see anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was lucky like that. Some restaurants I worked in, were closed kitchens, and some cracking behaviour can
serious stuff, yeah.
yeah, some bullying
Yeah.
Yeah.
and demoralising
Yeah.
behaviour.
Yeah.
But most of them, the open kitchens I worked in,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing,
Yeah.
and no screaming, no yelling.
Yeah.
You'd be talking up,
Yeah.
obviously, and you'd be talking direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be saying, hey, you'd be like, get that on.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be, no please, no thank yous. But
Yeah.
you're in a system in there
Yeah.
where you already respect everyone
Yeah.
and you're doing a job.
Yeah.
And, you've got 60 people in the restaurant
Yeah.
and you've got entrees, mains going
Yeah.
out at the same time. And then you're rolling over to desserts. So,
Yeah.
and it's a team environment. Like, if someone was on desserts that night, before desserts even start, they're helping entrees onto mains, getting steaks ready.
Yeah.
And then when entrees finishes, he would roll over for desserts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, even kitchen hands. Like,
Right.
even when I was cooking as a chef, no one was below anything,
Yeah.
which was what I was taught.
Yeah.
Everyone. So quite often, from the early days, even at Ridges, the head chef, you would find him washing up,
Yeah.
and everyone else would be cooking, and he'd be in the kitchen hand area
Yeah.
washing up.
Yeah.
And so he even taught me that, and then into the next restaurant.
Yeah.
So no one was ever below anything.
Yeah.
Everyone, even
Whatever needs
because
to get done, gets
if it
done.
needs to be done,
Yeah. Get it
So
done.
I always took that with me, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So which was a big thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what I'm hearing from you is like it was really hard
Mm.
and really long hours.
Yep.
And all that, but like it felt like you like took on heaps of different skills that you've been able to use.
Yeah,
For a lot of
utilise.
your life.
Yeah. Heaps of good life skills.
Yeah.
I can be messy, but I can also I can switch like this, switch in my brain, click on this switch, and I'll just go full clean mode in my garage. I'll just spend a day just organising and cleaning the bench and with going into working for myself later on, it really helped.
Yeah. Systems processes.
Systems, processes, awesome, like pretty old school ways, but they worked for me. Like, not really good on computers and emails, so my wife helped me with that. But like, awesome apprenticeship. Would I recommend it to anyone? Probably, I'd have a really good chat with them about.
Needs to be the right desire and personality. For
Yeah, the lifestyle's hard.
Yeah.
Like all the chefs that I know that have stayed in are all divorced.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
at least once.
Yeah.
Some of them are twice, 3 times.
Yeah.
So relationship wise, if
Very
your partner is not working with you,
Yeah.
I don't think it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Being that, because you're working opposite times.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be hard.
So you're working when everyone else is relaxing,
Yeah.
and so on the weekend when everyone's chilling out,
Yeah.
that's your go time.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's one of the real reasons I left the hospitality industry is because I met this really nice lady,
Well, tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us about, it's Beck, isn't it,
Yeah.
your wife?
Beck. Yeah, so
How did this happen?
it's probably, I was 19, 18, she was. Yeah, we just met one night. Guys from here, from church, we'd been out for dinner.
Yeah.
And we decided to go to Trade Union Club at Gymea to watch some sport or something. And one of the guys there there was a group of girls that went to school with him.
Yeah.
And then, she was in that group. So,
Yeah.
that night I met her, yeah. So it was in 2002, I think I met her. So, I was 19. Yeah.
And did you know she was a Christian? Or she was a Christian? Sorry, I should ask that question first.
No, not that night. Not when I first met her that night. But we were actually put together on the table because we were the Christians on the table.
Yeah.
So you go and sit next to Beck because she goes to church. And so her friends from school didn't go to church. Anyway, yeah, we just started talking. And,
What school did she go to?
Kirrawee High.
Okay.
Yeah, so she grew up in Grace Point.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, Kirrawee High. She was going to Janelli Anglican at the time.
Okay.
But she grew up in Grace Point, and we've pretty much sure we've worked out that she was going to the church in Grace Point that Stu and Lou were at when she was probably, her sister went to the youth group there, and then it had kind of, we worked out that it had closed or finished up.
Yeah.
Because there's 6 years between Beck and her sister,
Ah, okay. Yeah.
and it had finished up because
Yeah.
Nay had come home all excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was like that connection there even years ago.
That's funny,
Yeah.
eh?
But she went to Janelli Anglican and Kirrawee High. She was, she still is now, a preschool teacher.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was working Monday to Friday, and
Yeah.
I was working
Wednesday to
Sunday and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I just decided it was time to change up a bit.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a job in eastern suburbs as a garden labourer.
Yeah.
At Matraville at the Memorial Park.
All right. Just maintenance, obviously.
Yeah, just gardens, lawns and gardens, just as a labourer. Yeah, so I was there for probably 2 years, just under 2 years. And then I moved back here because a guy had a lawnmowing business. He'd advertised for like an off-sider in Miranda.
Yep.
And I wanted to be closer to home because it was like travel and stuff. So
Yeah.
I ended up working for Chris for probably, Eli, around the time Eli was born. I finished up with him. So another 2 years. And I took the plunge and started my own lawnmowing business.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so Eli was about 6 months old when we started the business. So it was a massive jump.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said to Beck, if we're going to do it, we're going to have to do it now because I don't want to do it when I'm 50 or 40.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we were I was 26 and Beck was 25. Yeah, so we were married with Eli when I started the business. Yeah. And I had that for 13 and a half years
Yeah.
in the end.
So did you mention, we were
Yeah.
chatting a bit before about, I can't remember if we were chatting before we started the podcast about when you like jumped into youth leadership and took a group of boys through.
Yeah.
Was that after you had left the kitchen work? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would have been
yeah.
when Beck and I probably started dating. It was probably a year after that.
Yeah.
So it was probably a year the year we got married, I started doing youth with Andrew.
Yeah. How did you find that shift of like, because that's kind of a big shift of responsibility going from just from like being in youth / just being in a friendship group at church and making Bible study and doing that stuff together to then like trying to raise up young crew and stuff. How did you find that?
So it was a couple of years between me leaving youth, obviously, and so we're in the young adults group and stuff. And Andrew we were at Andrew Harris's one day and he kind of spoke to us about it. And he said, "Oh, just come along." And
he was the youth minister.
He was the youth minister here.
Yeah.
Come along and see what you think. And I knew the guy, like one of the couple of the boys.
Yeah.
Already, because they'd grown up through the church, and I'd seen them all the time. Anyway, I turned up and I thought, geez, this is fun.
Yeah.
And we just basically run amok downstairs and kick balls and run footballs at each other and going out on youth nights and stuff. And it was good for Beck and I because it was one thing we were doing together.
Yeah.
So we really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're ministering together.
We're doing a ministry together. It was our first time actually doing something together.
Yeah.
And so that was around the year we got married. And then probably 6 months to a year into it.
Yeah.
Because we had, there was other youth leaders that I'd grown up through youth with also there.
Yeah.
Andrew had really pressed on us that, how good would it be to take these guys all the way through?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it and I thought, oh, geez, I'd love to be able to do that for them.
Yeah.
So, we just committed to, send them through and stay with them. And so I really enjoyed it. So we used to do a Easter camp every Easter. And so that was part of the youth program. So we'd go as leaders to that. So that was 4 or 5 days up at Camp Fletcher in the Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
And then youth every Friday night. And then another guy or 2 guys, me, Ian Watson and Stu Best, started doing a little bit more on top of the youth with the boys. So we'd get the church bus or something or pick them all up and bring them around for dinner at my place.
Yeah.
And we'd hang out with them on another night.
Yeah.
Just a bit extra. And I really enjoyed it. And Beck did too. Beck probably dropped off after having Eli a bit.
Yeah.
But Eli grew up as a toddler at camps with these kids.
Yeah. That's right, isn't it?
It was awesome for him. Yeah, just being this little 2 or 3 year old with these, and the boys were 15, 16. They loved having him around, and but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really good. And then, I probably finished up around the time that they did year 12, end of year 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a year after that. Yeah, so 7 years, I suppose, we did it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool to have that time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And it was an introduction to ministry as well under Andrew.
Yeah.
Just never really doing ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's epic.
Yeah.
I think also there's something to be said for that. Andrew kind of did that with you. So you were I want to do the same thing. And it was a similar to, as I've said before, with Jai leading me through all of high schools from when I started going to youth group. I wanted to do the same thing. So then I went back and did the same thing. That was how we liked to do it at Soul Revival. Was our leaders would stick with us. And then because we'd seen that commitment, then we'd want to go stick with a new group of crew coming through as well. So I think it makes it, that example that was shown to you was I want to do the same thing.
Yeah, Andrew came when I was 18 to Miranda, but in the social, he was the youth minister, obviously, for the kids under, the guys that were younger than us, but he was in our social group. So, we'd just see him all the way on the weekends and stuff, through those first 3 years, and we just really connected with each other. And
it's the thing Braden was saying before, doing life together.
Yeah, doing life. I've been down to his place in Melbourne and spent a week down there putting in a retaining wall for him, just spending time together.
Yeah.
We've holidayed down, we travel down there and as a family and spend 4 or 5 days down there COVID happened, so it hasn't really happened since COVID. But like we talk on the phone, they come to Sydney quite often. So like it's literally, they'll tell us, "Oh, we're coming to Sydney."
Yeah.
In advance,
Make some
we
room.
know. Like, and then we start talking about the menu. Or, you know, like we've got this big thing that we've always wanted to go to the markets together.
Yeah.
And buy it and everything, but we just when he gets here, we don't have the time.
Yeah.
Because he's got other things to do.
Yeah.
But I'll just sort something out and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
Can I just go back to a little bit something you said before? Is it just before you got married is when you really took your faith seriously?
Yeah.
What do you think changed or encouraged you to do that? Like, what was God telling you at that point?
Yeah.
Do you think? Was
Was
it because you were getting married?
no, well we did our pre-wedding marriage counselling
Yeah.
with Andrew.
Yep.
Oh, sick.
Once again. And as part of that, he just spent a lot of time with me, and I really kind of chewed his ear on a few things. And I wasn't so much that I was getting married. It's like, I really didn't I understood things, but I really wanted to take a full grasp of, instead of going from having my faith, but I really wanted to journey with it. And so I wanted my faith, like I wanted to, I don't know how to describe
keep
it.
growing.
Yeah, I wanted to grow, and definitely like that. I'm not sure how to really put it in words.
Did you maybe if I ask you questions?
Yeah.
Did you feel like your faith was a little bit surface level, and you knew that God was?
Yeah.
Like there was a lot more depth of knowledge and understanding there, but you weren't really sure how to navigate that. Like how to get there.
Yeah. That's actually probably how I can get it out. Is I had several social groups as well as church. I played cricket. I had mates from school still.
Yep.
And I wouldn't say that I turned off my faith when I was around them, but I didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to like have that come up in conversation. So I would just kind of hide it under the surface.
Right.
So you maybe weren't confident.
No. And if you ask Beck today, within the first 5 minutes of a conversation, they'll know that I go to church and I'm a Christian or something like that. And she goes, I love how you can just. I said, I really don't care what people think. You know, if they don't, if they react to me like not liking it, then
But that's a result of your confidence now and because of your stronger faith.
Yeah. Like I take people for who they are, obviously, and you know, and I've got great non-Christian friends that when something goes wrong, they'll really get in contact with me and talk to me about stuff. But my faith is a practice faith.
Yeah.
So I like to practice my faith in just in my day, in the day that I have, or you know,
as we should.
As we should, yeah. But like, I'm not a big reader. So I listen to things. So sermons and stuff, podcasts, re-listening to sermons.
Yeah,
that's where I can learn.
Yeah,
I'm struggle to read a Christian book or to intake, bring it in.
Yeah.
So but around the time when we were married, definitely just having that, you know, him with us, Andrew and stuff. And
do you think it was obvious though that change to other people though? Because you're saying it was like the
I think so.
kind of grappling with those different social groups, and then you go, no, but I need to commit hard on my faith, and know God better. Do you think that then, that was showed outwardly?
Well, one of the biggest things was in the social groups was to go and catch up with my mates. I had to go out on a Saturday night, and they would quite often go to a pub or a club, and go out to all hours of the night. And I just kind of got over that.
Yep.
And I ended up still going out with them, and I'd be sitting there and they'd be like on their way, and they go, "Oh, what's going on, Stu?" You know, like, and I'm like, "Oh, well, you know, I'm just growing up, maybe." And I probably started to just slow down with going out a lot.
And like
Reprioritising things, yeah. Like we'd started youth group, and so Friday nights was like youth now.
Yeah.
With the boy, like the coming year. So every Friday night,
Yeah.
that was like locked in. So, and then Saturday nights was catch up with guys from church. I'd play cricket in the afternoon, but then I wouldn't go out with them. I'd probably see them once every few weeks or something like that. Out, if I was out with, Yeah, and then I got a second job because we'd bought a house. So that really helped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about also going out on your own, the lawn mowing.
Yeah.
Hard or enjoyable or not enjoyable, or what was the initial reactions? Everyone says that starting a business is hard.
It's not for everyone, for sure. I enjoyed setting my days, like tasks,
knowing what was coming, and you chose.
And so,
you chose
like on a Sunday afternoon, at home, like we'd been at church in the morning or something like that, and I would do my weekly prep, so to speak.
Yep.
So I'd get my diary out.
Yeah, know where you're going.
And I'd write my list down of the lawns. Like we had up of when the business was pumping, about 240 lawns on our books.
Wow.
So we had a few staff, but I'd put down the week's work, and then I'd basically work out, righto. Mondays was always a lawn day, mowing lawns, and I'd just smash lawns. And we'd just go out and do, like if I had someone with me, we'd do 20 lawns in a day. Big day, just to get a good head start into the week, which was always good.
Were you front loading your jobs so you've got a certain amount of income coming in? That's part of the reason?
Yeah, to pay the bills, I suppose. So yeah, you'd work out your bills for the week, like obviously the house bills, the business bills, the wages, and you'd literally write it off on a day, and then you could put the rest of it into machinery, machinery and maintenance, and living expenses, living expenses,
just living.
I enjoyed it. I had it for like 13 and a half years. I had some good guys that worked for me, some not so good guys. I was supported well by people in the church, even with work.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just found that if I was fair, and I always try to use my faith in my decision making. If I was fair in my quotating and working with people, I'd always get return work.
Oh yeah,
like from people.
Because you knew you were being fair and
honest.
and
honest and stuff.
Showing integrity. That'd be the other thing.
Yeah, like I remember one lady, she'd been quoted like $750 for this job, and it was actually through my wife's cousin. She'd rung me and she said, "Oh, can you go down and have a look? It sounds a bit exorbitant." And I got down there and it was extortion.
Yeah.
And I just said to her, I said, "Look, it's only worth a couple $100 at the most." And I ended up mowing that lady's lawn. That was a gardening job for her, but I ended up mowing that lady's lawn. She actually passed away, but until she passed away. So I found that just being nice to people is a big thing. Yeah. And like I had a lot of older customers in my run, so not when it was busy, but when it was slower, I'd try and make the time, especially the older people, to sit down with them and just talk to them and share a bit of my life with them. Like they probably never met my kids, but they always asked about my kids.
Yeah.
A lot of them, like a lady Greta, I had her till she passed away as well, and she'd always want see a photo or ask how they were going at school. And I'd always sit down and have a ginger beer with her.
Yeah.
After I mowed, I always made sure that I'd do it on a day where I could do that.
Yeah.
And then a lady at Como that I still mow, that I always mowed last job of the day because yeah, she just used to love. She had a daughter with a disability, and I used to she'd always used to like to sit down and talk to me.
Yeah.
And she was blind, her daughter, and so she'd love to just sit there and hold your hand. That was her way of getting to know you.
Yeah.
Or connecting with you.
Yeah.
So I'd spend like 45 minutes there at the end of the
Yeah.
day, and then just come home.
Yeah.
And I found that really great, especially like everyone knew all my customers knew that I was a Christian, and then I went to church, and I'd talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
I'd say I'll go to church, like got something going to church on the weekend, or they'd say, what did you do on the weekend? We say, I caught up with some mates from church, and went to church on Sunday. Had cooked some food. So yeah, but the businesses ran its course, and it was hard towards the end.
Yeah.
And we knew that it had run its race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask you, for the listeners and the watchers, and maybe me, what's your top tip on lawn mowing?
How to do it
Oh no, yeah, or what do people miss
when they mow.
to make things easier? Yeah, what do you got for us?
So how would you do it to make it look nice?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So 4 steps.
Ooh.
see, I like this.
So 4 steps.
Mhm.
So there is 4 steps, not 3,
Yeah.
which is quite often the case.
Okay.
So you whippersnip the edge, or you do your edges. The
Oh,
edges
so
are
you-
always first.
Oh, you're doing edges first. Okay.
Edges are always first.
All right.
So edges maketh the lawn.
Oh yes,
Like-
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I hope you're taking notes, Hudson.
So you do your
I am.
you do your edges. So you do a vertical edge and you'll do a horizontal edge.
Ah,
So you cut yourself in. So the lawnmower doesn't have to actually go off the lawn.
right.
Yeah.
So you run like a wheel off the lawn.
Mm.
But you always do your edges first, because I always found that after you do the edges later, you leave mess behind. So you do the edges, then you'll blow everything.
Yeah.
You blow out everything onto the lawn, then you mow it all up,
Then you
and
mow
then you
it,
go around and blow it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have seen the guys that I watch on YouTube do that,
Yeah.
so that makes sense.
It's a fantastic method.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they
tried and proven.
because you put the edges you've chopped into the
Yep.
grass that you're about to mow, right?
Yep,
And that goes in the
exactly.
catcher of the mower.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you always blow like a second time just
Mhm.
to finish it off.
Mm.
It's normally not as bad as the first time, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that. So I'm
Yeah.
going to change my
And never mow
process.
too low.
Yeah.
Like never scalp your lawn unless you're top dressing it. So you always want to leave a bit of green on there,
Yeah,
a
okay.
little bit of growth.
Yep.
Mm.
That's helpful. I'm going to change my process at home
There
Yeah.
you
because I'm doing edges as a second.
Yeah.
I reckon
Try it first.
I want to try. I
See
want to
how
try
it
doing.
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm
it's not for
thinking.
everybody.
But I like your idea because then it chops it in,
Yeah.
and then you're not having to think of the wheel of the lawnmower dropping off the
Mm.
edge and going too low and all that stuff. Right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
I'm going to use the experience of at least 13-year-old, if not longer, veteran of lawn mowing. So that's great.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
No worries, mate. Anytime.
So where do you go from owning your own business? Because that's a
Yeah.
big change.
Yeah.
If you're not going to, like, you obviously got to keep earning money.
Yep.
But you decide to changing how you're running your own business. What did you do after that?
So I went and got a job through an agency on the council. I'd been driving trucks as well for a mate, just to fill up my days in winter with the business as well. So I had that to fall back on as well. So I was driving part-time but full-time hours for a few delivery mobs,
Yeah.
and ended up just looking on Seek one day and found a position on Sutherland Council through a recruitment agency 4 minutes from home in parks operations. So
Yeah.
mowing all the open areas of the council. So
Yeah.
parks, footpaths, fields.
Oh, you did the fields? Yep.
Yeah, and then I was only there for 8 months because they weren't recruiting full time. So I ended up at Warrenora, up Memorial Park for a while.
I was going to ask you, though, does your faith really impact you, like knowing that I'm going to be all right in terms of just being between jobs now
Yeah.
and other things? So you're pretty confident in faith, like you
Yeah.
trust in God that He's going to put you in the right place?
Yeah, like I would talk to God a lot. Just through things, and then Beck and I are very open with each other. Like we'll talk about it all the time, and changing jobs has always been. Well, I hadn't been changed jobs for 13 years, and then so I've never really had to worry about it. But no, it's not a massive issue for me in that regard, because I know that God has a plan, and He's in control, and I just got to kind of like walk with Him, and I don't know how else to put it.
I think something that I'll speak for myself, struggle with is like, I was thinking about this the other day when we were at the council meeting, and Leonie asked us to think about what are we doing in terms of our head, heart and hands, like, and trusting God, what we're doing. And I'd realised that I got up on Wednesday morning, and it was cool. Like, I read the Bible, did a bit of journaling, and then I realised when I got to the council meeting on Wednesday night that I hadn't thought about God once since then. And I think that's a battle for me. And I suppose I asked that question because that's what I've been thinking about this week. But I think there are some moments there, like maybe now that if I've been a Christian for a while, that maybe I'm actually recognising God in places I don't even realise I'm doing it. Like, I don't know if that happens to you, but I think the cool thing is that hearing you say, I'm talking to God all the time, I think that's a sign of real faithfulness and trusting that He's going to put you in the right place. And I think the interesting thing that He's taught you with also is the work ethic. Like, you can I think you really trust your work ethic. That's what I get from talking to you for however long we've known each other now. I can really see that you're like, as soon as God puts me in a place, I know I'm making that happen. That's what I get from you. Do you reckon that's partly how you kind of approaching things?
Well, I've been on holidays for about 3 weeks, and just working at home and just like getting stuff done. And it's been really good, actually, just to be able to concentrate on getting stuff done. And I feel like that was a plan by God to let me just achieve a few things that are hard to do when you're working so many hours. And I believed that there was going to be a time where something would come up and I was going to be sorted. I have a skill set, I suppose, that I could move in and get it mold into a job, I suppose, delivery driving and mowing lawns
and you're a chef, so you've got so many different abilities.
I find that I don't have to worry too much about the next step because there'll always be something there.
Okay. That's what you're saying.
So
I was going to ask the last question, Braden. Have I missed anything? What do you think? One thing that I think you said you wanted to say was kind of the Soul Revival MCC partnership and how that's kind of happened. And you said you had some thoughts on that. It'd be cool to hear what you actually thought about that.
So I love the idea of church around a meal.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Being obviously a foodie. So on Sundays I'm here. I love being able to serve in the way that I do with the breakfast. So we put on breakfast for whoever wants to come in the morning before church, and tell us steadily growing.
What are you serving up on the breakfast at the moment?
Yeah, we've got little sausages, bacon as always, fried eggs, tomatoes, mushrooms, and then I do scrambled eggs. And Lou does pancakes. We've got pancakes, muesli. So I've got a bit of a smorgasbord.
Very nice.
So a bit of variety there. But I think just any meal or people let themselves, they let themselves relax.
Yeah.
And you can find people in the morning before church in the hall just sitting and talking about stuff over a meal, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just think it just works really well.
And the thing I think I get encouraged by on a Sunday morning is when I see like you're out there, but then also Eli's out there and RJ's out there.
And RJ's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so the boys come along and they're in charge of the barbecue.
Yeah, exactly.
So the kids are cooking the barbecue.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like you've got a teenager and then how old's
RJ's 6.
Yeah, like hanging out with Eli, helping with the barbecue.
Yeah.
Like, that's like...
Yeah, so it's great.
Just think about it, how encouraging that is.
Like, it's like a cross. Like it's,
it's just like the different generations and just hanging out and doing something together that's feeding everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. There's something about that hospitality of having a meal together, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, that was the thing also, like a discussion always, part of our strategy is to have a meal at all our gatherings, right? Like
you're saying,
awesome.
And whether it's breakfast, dinner, whatever. But the other thing is that we've always said it's not going to be catered, right? We're not going to get someone in from outside.
No.
There's something really, really special about being together as Christians, but then serving each other with a meal in that regard. And I remember Karen Sell, who used to be on staff and isn't anymore, she's like, there's an extra element of someone cooking a meal for you. It's like almost like being at home and someone cooks a meal for you.
Yep.
That you can go, this is actually extra special because this person's putting heaps of effort to serve me, and I get to eat the food.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, and then you get the long-term relational thing of eating over a meal.
Yeah.
And it can, whether it's before or after gathering, it's extending that relational time to spend with each other. And I couldn't agree with him more. Like it's such a cool part of what we do.
Like it's one of the things that we tried it a few times at MCC before the merge. 4 of us got together and decided that we were going to try and revamp the men's ministry. And one of the ideas that I had, or the idea I came forward with, was a meat appreciation night, so a man night. MAN. And I'm lucky enough to have 2 wood-fired ovens in my backyard that I built with my uncle.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And a fire pit that I can cook on. So we just put it out there and, we just said to, we got, quite a few guys. Like I think one night I cooked for 70.
Wow.
But yeah, like something like that. Like anything around a meal, you're going to find that like I'd look around and you go, that bloke doesn't know that bloke from Bar of Soap, but they're standing there talking together.
Yeah.
And it's over a meal, like they've never met each other, or they wouldn't normally chat. And I find that like just it kind of breaks down barriers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
People relax.
Yeah.
And I get to enjoy doing the cooking.
Yeah.
I love to cook, so being
and
able to like
serving other people with that.
Yeah, and like in the morning, like I'll kick off at 8 o'clock in the morning, like the oven's over, and it's an all day thing for me. It's just the whole experience, like the preparation, the actual written preparation of the menu, all the way through, and then so that's just something that's pretty close to me, like being able to cook for people, serve in that way.
Yeah. I think it also just creates like there's such good vibes on a Sunday morning when like people are already rocking up and eating and
smelling it.
You're walking in, there's food, or even the like yourself and Marty and Lou and stuff are all here in the morning and we're rocking up, and it's just people already joking and mucking around and doing the barbecue and stuff. You know what I mean?
Even the a mate of mine who's the builder who's been doing some stuff at my place. His wife goes to St. Luke's, so he doesn't actually go, but they go to a gym class at 7:30 on a Sunday morning, and they're driving past at 8:30.
Yeah.
And he says, I can smell the barbecue. I said, well, you need to stop.
Come have breakfast.
Exactly.
So on Tuesday, I said to him, I said, well, I'm cooking on Sunday. I said, just come in for breakfast and then go home.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I might do that.
Yeah.
Because he says, because we were away last weekend and someone else was on it. And so he says to me on Tuesday, I saw someone else on the barbecue this week. Because we were away. I said, we were away. So he's looking out. So
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So I think it's just an awesome thing to have like something before the service like that.
Yeah.
for people just to come in and just
Mm.
turn on or turn off or whatever they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and like on Saturdays we have like just a kind of coffee time beforehand, but then it's dinner after that.
Yeah.
right? And it just flows naturally into late night.
Mm.
And yeah, it's the coolest way to do church.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
good, eh?
Like,
And I'm also so spoiled. Like the times I visited other churches now, it's like finish up in the morning. So like, here's the biscuit. And you're like, oh, it's like used to getting a full meal.
Here's your aunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the old Milko or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Dip it in your coffee.
arrowroot.
Yeah, arrowroot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about at Sorrowville MCC, or that's just you
No, that's
you
just
enjoy
one
that part
thing
of it?
for me
Yeah.
that just really hits home for us. Like we love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Last question then.
Yep.
Kind of looked at a lot of your life
Mm.
and all the stuff that you've learned and what God's taught you. What would you tell? Like, what do you know now that you would tell your younger Christian self?
Yeah. So I thought about this one, and it's pretty simple. It's like you're going to get there. You're going to be able to trust in God, rest on your faith, and enjoy your life living as a Christian.
Mm.
Oh, is that a fear? Kind of a fear for you that you weren't going to, or you weren't going to get
I
there?
didn't know. The question that I always had was I didn't know, what it was until I really found like my faith.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like to have that journey early on and now to where I am now, to find out, or to know now that I am, I'm, having I've got a great family and it's all in place, and it's all thanks to, God and our faith and our church, and yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, my 20-something-year-old mind or sitting there going, oh, there's more to this. What's,
Where is it all? What
where
is
is it? What is it?
Yeah.
I'd love just to be able to go back and say, mate, you're going to get there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You're going to figure it out.
You're going to figure it out. People
Okay.
are going to help you. You're going to have great friends. You're going to have a good life.
Were you worried about that, do you think?
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah. Worrying about everything in life, I suppose. Where you end up, and
Because you mentioned before that anxiety is a bit of a thing for you.
yeah.
What do you think that...
Overthinking things,
Ah,
very much so.
okay.
So like I will not procrastinate, but I will really put thought into things that I don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
I find that really interesting though, because you strike me as a man of action.
Mm.
And I recently read something. I think I said it on a previous Chip Lunch, but like the best antidote to anxiety is action.
Mm.
So I just find that interesting. It's not a criticism, sorry.
No.
But it's like, yeah, you strike me as a dude that'll get stuck in pretty quick.
Oh yeah, no, I like to get things done.
Mm.
Yeah, I like yeah.
But you
Let's
sometimes
talk about it, but let's do it.
Yeah, but you say sometimes like, this is what I do, and I'm wondering if you do as well. Like you think of like all the possibilities and what you should do, and then try and like think of the best way forward before actually taking action. Do you do that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I do that
Yeah, I would
sometimes, and
too.
then I'm like, I should have just started. Then I would have
Yeah.
figured it out a lot earlier.
Yeah. Or you get to the end point and you go, I could have done that better.
Yeah, totally. When you're doing something, and then you get to like the last few of whatever it is, and you're like, oh, that was the fastest way to do it.
Yeah.
But you could only get there by doing it. You couldn't
Yeah.
you're hard on yourself. Like I should have
Yeah.
thought of this earlier, but you're like, I had to do it to figure
Yep.
that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
When you said that, I'm like, oh, that sounds like me too.
Yeah. Very it's good that you can just reflect afterwards though, and then realise that you can actually do something a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I find, for me, journaling is really helpful, because then I go,
Yep.
oh, these are the things I stuffed up, and figure out the reasons why, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, next time.
Yeah, cool.
I'll be
Yeah.
doing that,
It's
yeah.
good, yeah.
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 But man, Stuart, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Thanks for coming on short notice too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
only
no
asked
worries.
you on Wednesday night,
Yeah, you're right.
but
No.
it timed out well because you weren't working today.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
Just
but-
chilling out.
that's
Just gonna go
awesome.
cut some firewood, I think. So,
Oh,
With
Okay.
a chainsaw?
or
yeah,
axe.
axe maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't
I
know.
thought you.
Who knows?
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah, whatever dabbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much. Stu,
Thanks
for
heaps,
being
guys,
on.
yeah.
I think you're a great presence here at Miranda, especially on a Sunday morning, getting to hang out.
It's
really great to have a chat and have a yarn, and the way that you love serving people with food, I think, is epic. But also just, I think what you mentioned when you were talking about the lawn care stuff of trying to make time to be able to sit down and chat with people, I definitely see that on a Sunday as well. You're just always open to have a chat and have a yarn.
Yes.
Whether it's about the footy or whatever people want to chat about, I think it's really appreciated.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
No, we can tell you're a really committed, faithful servant here at MCC. And that matters, I think. Even like we were talking with Josh a couple of episodes ago about how important committing to something is as a Christian and then following it through. And you strike me as someone that does that, and I really value that. But I think people, whether it's the boys you're leading at youth or with your work or the people that you, your clients, when you're doing your grass, what is it called? I was about to say lawn mowing. Because I used to say mow lawning when I was a kid. I think I can see that in you, and I think like that presence, that committed, solid presence, so important at church.
Thank you.
I think it would be greatly appreciated. And greatly appreciated you come on the podcast.
No worries, guys.
So thanks very much, man. We appreciate it. Thank you, Braden.
Thank you, Joel.
No, thank you. Thank you to everyone that's been listening and watching. This has been the Chip Lunch Podcast. Stories of people, stories from people of Jesus changing everything. There we go, I got the line out. We finished with the one way, Stu. Do you know the one way?
I've heard it,
fantastic. Well, let's do that, and have a great day, everyone. One way.
One way.